Good afternoon. Today I would like to give you a brief overview of the Sbac Digital Library, which is a resource that you can use to plan and enhance your instruction in the Common Core. The Sbac Digital Library is an online database of instructional and professional resources to enhance your classroom-based assessment practices. There is also a forum to allow for collaboration among educators and users. The digital library was designed to provide teachers with resources to build their formative assessment practice to support student growth and success in the Common Core standards. The resources that are in the digital library all have the formative assessment process built into it. The formative assessment process consists of clarifying the intended purpose of your lesson or task, eliciting evidence from students, interpreting that evidence, and then acting on that evidence. This is not a paper pencil assessment. This is in the moment teaching. What are you seeing your students doing, and how is that going to inform you to make changes or to continue on with the lesson you've planned? All of the digital library items have been aligned to the formative assessment process. The resources in the digital library can provide you with demonstrations of the formative assessment process. They have sample instructional tasks that are aligned to the Common Core standards into lessons, engagement strategies, and it can be a source of professional development at your own pace, where you can pick and choose which areas you are interested in refining in your current practice. One of the filters that you'll see when we go into the digital library is modules. The digital library consists of learning modules directed toward teacher professional development in the areas of English language arts, math, and assessment literacy. You can see some of the areas that the modules address, and the modules take you through an entire lesson and each step of the formative assessment process, so you can see how that teacher or that scenario lends itself to one of the stages of the formative assessment process. At the very end of the modules are all the instructional materials. So if you choose to go through one of the modules, at the very end you will see the instructional plan that was used, the student materials, and any other materials that were used that you can actually then use in your own classroom. So let's look at how we log in and view some of the resources in the Sbac Digital Library. To access the Sbac Digital Library, go to the CUSD homepage and click on Staff Room in the upper right-hand corner. The link to the digital library is located under Common Core, Assessment Resources. This link will take you to the digital library. You will sign in with your username and password. Your username is your Chico Unified email address, and your password is set the first time you log in. I will go over login information after we explore what's in there. The first time you log in, you will be prompted to enter some information about yourself, what grade level you teach, what school you're at, and you'll choose a security question. Once you've done that, every time you log in, it will prompt you with your security question, because in the case that you forget your password, you can use the security question to get into your account. So I'm going to click Save. And here's what the digital library looks like once you log in. There's two main components. Up in the upper left-hand corner, there's digital library resources, and there's forums. So we're going to start by looking at some of the digital library resources. To search for resources, you're going to use the filters. You can filter by subject, grade level, attributes of the formative assessment process, media types, resource type, intended end users, intended student populations, educational use, module type, geographic settings, and Common Core state standard. The area below will show all of the results based on the filters you selected. So to search by Common Core standards, you're going to click on Common Core Standards, and I'm going to choose English Language Arts, Grade 2, and I'm going to choose Reading Informational Text, because when I'm looking at my Try To standards, there are 3 standards that I might want some more support on, either for instruction in my classroom or professionally. So I'm going to click Reading Informational Text, and here are the Common Core standards. So I'm going to select Reading Informational Text Standard 1, and the little check mark appears. Reading for Informational Text Standard 2, and Reading Informational Text Standard 6. So now I'm going to do Add Selections. Now I'm going to click Apply Filters. And now below I can see that there are 25 resources. And this lighter blue box has resources that were posted with distinction. So I see Comprehension Skills Routine, Common Core Teaching and Learning Strategies for Informational Text. If I keep scrolling down, I see more resources. And I'm interested in this close reading one, Informational for Nature Animal Text. So if you see a resource you like, you're going to click on the title. It's going to give you some information about that resource. It's also going to give you a preview of it so you can decide whether or not this is something that you might like to use or download and print out. So here's the preview of the document. Some of the resources might have more than one document attached to it. So right below the preview is a green button that says View All Materials. If I click on that button, it says An Octopus is Amazing, Grade 2 Close Read PDF. This is the only document associated with this resource. If there was more than one document, it would list it here. If this is a document I'm interested in downloading and saving to my computer, I can download it on the right hand side, and this will download it to my computer, and then I can open it up and print it out, or I can project it. Let's do another search. So I'm going to go back up to the upper left hand corner and click Digital Library Resources, and it will bring me back to that screen that we first saw. Right now you can still see that these are the filters that I had previously applied. I want to get rid of all of those, so I'm going to select Clear All. And I'm going to go back to Common Core State Standards. And this time I'm going to choose Mathematics, Grade 5. And I know in Trimester 2, fractions is a big push. So I'm going to see what resources there are for fractions in 5th grade. And I'm going to filter by Standard 1, 2, 3, 4A, 4B, and 5B. And the reason I chose those was because they are listed on the back of the 5th grade report card. So once again, I'm going to choose Add Selections. So I'm going to click Apply Filters. Once again, items that were posted with distinction are listed first. If I scroll down, I'm going to see all the choices, and I am interested in multiplying fractions problem-based task. Before you click on the title, it will also give you a small synopsis of what the resource is. So I'm going to click on Multiplying Fractions, and it says problem-based instruction is used in this lesson. Problem-based instruction poses a problem to students and then gives them time to explore. So if that's something that I'm interested in doing with my students with fractions, I might look through the resource. I'm going to look to see if there's any more materials, so I'm going to click View All Materials, and that is the only material. Let's say I want to print this out. Maybe there's a student sheet in here. I'm going to download it to my computer. If I really like this resource and I don't want to have to search for it each time, you can add it to your favorites. So I'm going to click Add to Favorites. And at the very top, there is a tab that says Favorites. So now I can just click on Favorites. Here's my information that I typed in the very first time I logged in. And if I scroll down, here are all my favorites. So now I have multiplying fractions in my favorites that I can access immediately when I log in. Let's do one more search. I'm going to go back to the upper left-hand corner, Digital Library Resources. My previous filters are still set, so I'm going to clear them all out. And now I want to look for the standards for mathematical practices. The easiest way to locate resources for the standards for mathematical practices is to choose Subjects and then Math, but off to the left click the plus sign, and then you'll see the mathematical practices listed. So you can choose 1, you can choose 2. I'm going to choose all of them to see what resources are available. Once I have them all, I can click outside that screen and click Apply Filters. Now I see there are 371 resources. Of course, these are going to be for grades K through 12. So as I scroll down, before I click on one, here's a little bit of information about it. And this is appropriate for grades 6, 7, 8, and 9. Before you click into a resource, you can see whether or not it will be grade appropriate. The second main piece to the digital library is the Forums section. So in the upper left-hand corner, you can click on Forums. And this space was specifically designed to allow collaboration among users and for educators to have the opportunity to collaborate on some of the resources that are provided. To join a forum, you find the forum that you are interested in joining and you click on the title. As you scroll down, you can see that there are 2 discussions going on, and you can join one of those discussions or start your own discussion. To log out of the digital library, you can simply close the window or scroll back to the top and click on your name and log out. Now that you've seen what the digital library has to offer, you can log in and begin exploring some of the resources. To find your username and password, you'll want to go back into your email and locate an email from smarter-do-not-reply@opentestsystem.org. Your username is your CUSD email address, and the password is contained within that email. If you're like me, you have lots of emails in your inbox, you can search your Outlook inbox by typing Digital Library. The results will show below, and you can see the one result that I had was the email from smarter-do-not-reply. If you cannot find that email, another easy way to get into the digital library is from the login screen. There is a red link that says Forgot Your Password. You can click on that, type your CUSD email address, and you can reset your password. If you have any questions about the content or how to navigate the digital library, please feel free to email CUSD staff development at chicousd.org. This video, as well as other digital library resources, will be posted in the staff room under staff development. Thank you.